Everything we know about Fortnite Chapter 3, Season 2. The first season of the chapter is coming to a close, and in just over a week, we'll be launching into a new season that'll bring fresh POIs, weapons, and Battle Pass skins. This video will have a ton of spoilers, so this is your only warning. Let's get into it. Thanks to confirmation from Fortnite themselves alongside leaks, we are absolutely certain next season will be a war between the Imagined Order and the Seven. We've been building up to this battle for months, from gathering wartime supplies with rockets to the IO establishing Covert Cavern on the island. All of this is leading up to the finale on March 19th, and we expect to launch into the new season between that date and the 22nd. And while we're not expecting a live event, the new season will contain a ton of new Marvel collabs among a lot more, so let's break down what to expect. On May 6th, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is releasing, on top of a new Thor and Morbius movie, She-Hulk and Moon Knight show, and one more thing, a Fortnite Marvel project. This is a new story where John Jones and a member of the Seven will team up with crossovers like Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Shuri in what's being called the Zero War, and this is going to affect Season 2 in so many ways. If you look on the cover, you can see one of the sisters, who has finally been revealed as a missing member of the Seven. The crossover is going to focus on a crystallized fragment of the Zero Point that somehow found its way into the Marvel Universe, and Jones has to hunt it down before the Imagined Order can use it against us. Not only does this confirm we'll be getting a Shuri skin in Season 2, but also the sisters as well, meaning there's only one Seven member left to be revealed, the Origin. And let me tell you, the Seven definitely need help, because leaks reveal one of their outposts is about to be completely destroyed, and that will be one of many map changes. Every day right now, the Fortnite island is experiencing earthquakes, and we're feeling more and more tremors as the days pass. These tremors are planned to continue as we approach the end of the season, and some of them are even confirmed to be taking out multiple POIs. These earthquakes are going to cause the destruction of this red house, a Seven outpost, and the coffee shop near Tilted, which is giving me serious flashbacks of all the times Tilted has been pulverized. Anyway, despite all the new places we've gotten this season, there's still one more POI around the corner, which many believe will tie into the next season's live event. Of course, I'm talking about Caddis Cave. While we thought Covert Cavern was the most mysterious place in Fortnite, soon the Devourer's remains will become their own cave. So putting two and two together, there is no doubt this cave will form because of the tremors. Right now, we've only gotten leaks of creepy monster-like sounds that you'll hear inside this cave, but we've yet to figure out if it'll appear on day 1 or later in the season, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. And Season 2 is full of surprises, like the return of some unexpected mythics such as the Kingsman Umbrella. Yes, it'll be returning next season in some capacity, and while it wasn't around for long in Chapter 2, it made a lasting impression for sure, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it again. And there's also another item coming to Season 2 named the Homing Rocket, and leakers claim that this would be a new item that can lock onto vehicles. In fact, Epic has been working on this for years, when they originally wanted to release an anti-chopper rocket launcher. Never came out, but it looks like Season 2 might finally be its time to shine. So if you're wondering just what kind of things this anti-vehicle launcher might lock onto, well, it lines up perfectly with the upcoming tank vehicle. While we originally thought we'd get a new vehicle this season, it looks like Fortnite's gearing up to release it in Season 2. In the files, it's labeled as a tread vehicle, which means it has the same wheels as a tank. Now, the main theory is that this tank vehicle is actually going to be a driller, kind of like the ones we can find around the map right now. And just maybe we'll even be able to drill it to the island with them. And it turns out there's another mythic item in the works, and it's looking like it's going to be similar to Wolverine's claws from Chapter 2, and the community has built two theories on what it could be. We know the Zero War Marvel collab is releasing soon, and Wolverine does make an appearance in this, but Morbius is also coming out in April, and so it's possible these may be a Morbius-themed mythic. Or a third option, Feely may finally get his claws. I mean, we could only dream. And speaking of collabs, after Fortnite released Spider-Man, they teased that some friends and foes would be coming too, and eventually they followed. We had the No Way Home versions, and then Green Goblin dropped in the shop, but we were still missing someone, because while the comic book Spider-Man was in the Battle Pass, he needed his comic book MJ. Well, it turns out she's arriving before the end of the season. And the same goes for Ezio from Assassin's Creed. In fact, Fortnite already gave me the skin early to play with, so expect him to drop in the item shop any day now. And with Season 2's theme being the war versus the IO, we may see all kinds of Seven and IO themed skins in the Battle Pass. One of these could be the Gunner skin, who we first saw in the Chapter 2 finale event. He has different styles and everything, so my money's on him being in the Battle Pass or as an upcoming crew skin. And since Chapter 3 began, leakers have been finding weird things in the files, and one of these is an upcoming mechanic that will completely change the way that we understand reboot vans. Soon Fortnite may be taking a page out of Warzone's book and let us buy reboots with gold. Now, it might be the case you could either use a reboot card or pay gold if you want to bring back your teammate, or maybe Fortnite might even scrap reboot cards entirely and just go with gold. but no matter which route they take, we could see this as early as next season. And the same goes for an upcoming weapon named the Double Deagle. Who knows how overpowered a cross between the hand cannon and the dualies will be? I mean, imagine the pro players' tweets. If this makes it into Season 2, we might have an insanely popular gun on our hands or another Infinity Blade incident, that is for sure. But it's not just guns that will blow us away in Season 2, there are also some new healing items. A squad burst heal is in the works and it looks ridiculous. It heals you insanely fast, giving you 75 HP to your whole squad and recharges every 3 minutes. What has everyone freaking out even more is the return of the TAC shotgun. It's safe to say we were all pretty disappointed when Epic removed it, but they actually teased its return in a recent image. Yeah, last month Fortnite dropped a new loading screen for the Foundation's release, and in it you can spot him holding the one and only TAC Shoddy. Epic loves to tease upcoming features and loading screens, so it may be confirmed after all. And if we're talking about game-changing features, Season 2 is going to have a lot of them, because they are currently working on a highlights feature that might let us save clips in replay mode. Now, it's unclear what exactly it'll do, but from the sounds of it, it might save our wins as a highlight, or we are hoping it could be a kill cam mode that shows the play of the game. Now that would be awesome. And while Chapter 3 has given us a ton of new healing items like the Med Mist or the Guzzle Juice, soon we may also get the Shield Aura, and this thing looks super interesting. It's a little robot that follows you around and heals you, and it might even create a bubble around you and your team as you run around. What's even more interesting is the Tactical Overshield feature, which will let us temporarily overload our health and shield to gain an advantage. Now, it won't just make our regular health bars longer, it will be its own shield bar that depletes before we even lose HP or shield. And so with all of these new additions, there is one that's been in the works that everyone has been talking about, and that is Tactical Sprint. When sliding was added this season, we all knew this would be game-changing, and it was, but there is room for even more changes to movement, and next season is definitely going to bring it. It's also likely to come out with the Mythic Thermal AR. Yeah, behind the scenes, Epic has been turning the Thermal ARs to fully automatic mode, and has created a mythic version that leakers claim will appear in Season 2. If people figure out how to really take advantage of this, it will be devastating. But it's not going to blow people's mind like the upcoming Fear mechanic. Now, there isn't much info about this one, but we do know that soon Fortnite will be getting Fear that actually applies some kind of effect to players. Maybe soon, the Caddis Cave and all of those creepy noises inside of it may actually be dangerous to go near. Now, luckily, there's less terrifying features coming to Season 2, and this one is confirmed by Tabor Hill himself. He revealed that Season 2 will bring us new vehicle mods, specifically an upcoming car with a mounted turret on it. If we had to guess, it's probably going to be some kind of IO Jeep with a turret on the back, which could be devastating if it's powerful enough. But when it comes down to it, the vehicle people really want to see again are these shopping carts. You gotta admit, we had a lot of fun when they returned briefly in Chapter 2, and it looks like they may be coming back yet again next season. And they'll come alongside a rumored jetpack container, which will be a new type of chest. It looks like it'll be a simple container that when destroyed or opened will drop jetpacks, kind of like the fishing rod barrels. It's safe to say next season must be pretty big if they want us to have jetpacks so easily. And while we're in the sky, we might just want to use our first flying vehicle of Chapter 3, the Blimp. According to inside information, Epic is working on some kind of Zeppelin vehicle that should be releasing next season, and considering it's going to be war-themed, it makes a lot of sense. And while blimps are cool, they might not be the only way to get around, as Epic Games has been teasing some kind of Back to the Future collab since February, and if that happens, who knows what kind of things may come to the game? A DeLorean? The return of hoverboards? And if driftboards come back, they won't be the only fan-favorite item to return in Season 2, as Fortnite is also planning on bringing back C4. I know, it was so overpowered when it came back in Chapter 2, so you would think Epic would re-release it with some nerfs or something like that, but instead, if it comes back next season, it will have 8 times multiplied damage towards vehicles. Now that is a terrifying thought, especially when you consider that those vehicles we might be throwing the C4 at might not be a blimp or a driller, it might be a forklift. Yep, these are also planned and may be making their way onto the island sometime in a few weeks, because for some reason turret cars weren't enough, we need forklifts. And finally, the #1 addition that we should be seeing in Chapter 3 Season 2 are smart builds. Now, these have been making cameos throughout the last few seasons of Fortnite, and more designs have been appearing every update. If you don't know, smart builds look like an upcoming feature that will let us place pre-made builds down, making building easier for noobs and people trying to learn. Hope you guys enjoyed. It's been Tommy, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.